Crips. You're 14 years old and there is a phone in your hand and $100 in your pocket, and you have never felt this real in your life. That's the first thing you learn about the color. Not the history, not the rules. The feeling. You put on the blue yourself. Nobody handed it to you. Your set is the Rollin' 60s, or the 8-tray Gangster Crips, or the Grape Street Crips out of Watts. No unified command, no org chart. Just territory, color, and rules with no written version that are enforced more consistently than anything in the courthouse on Temple Street. You start on a corner on Figueroa. Phone in your hand. $100 a week, one job. You watch. The older guys don't talk to you. You are furniture. You are also learning faster than you've learned anything in a classroom. One night, the police hit the block. Everyone scatters. You run left down the alley behind the laundromat. A cop comes around the corner before you reach the fence. He's close enough that you can hear him breathing. You stop. You put your hands up. He searches you. You're clean. He asks who you work for. You say nothing. He lets you go. The next morning, the OG pulls you aside. He heard you didn't talk. You're ready. You move product at 16. You control a block at 20. By 25, you're running 3 blocks and 2 trap houses, generating $25,000 a month. The LAPD has your photo, your vehicle, your last 4 known addresses. An assistant U.S. attorney downtown has a file open for 14 months. Tonight, the operation is a border dispute with a Hoover set on 83rd Street. 2 cars, no phones. You've run this so many times your hands know the movements before your brain catches up. The block belongs to you before 1 in the morning. By sunrise, nothing looks different. That's the point. The Crips were founded to protect a community. Nobody needs to say what they became. The color is still blue. The corner is still the same corner. Bloods, you hear them before you see them. Read everything moving down Peru Street in Compton because the Crips already existed and someone had to answer. That's the origin. Not ambition, not greed. An answer to something that was already there. Red is the color, not because it means something abstract, because it's the opposite of blue. Your set is the Peru Street Bloods, the original or the Bounty Hunter Bloods out of Watts, or the Sex Money Murder set that moved east to the Bronx. Over 100 blood sets across the country. They share the color and almost nothing else. The set is everything. The name is the flag. Your older brother was jumped by a Crip set on Central Avenue when he was 15. Your family moved twice. It didn't matter. The geography followed you. By 13, you understood that neutrality is not an option in the neighborhood where you live. The OG who runs your block has been here since 1994. He's 42. Most of the men he came up with are dead or serving life at Corcoran. He is still here. That is the only qualification that matters. At 17, you move product on MLK Boulevard. Your cousin got picked up 6 months ago, 3 years. The set didn't send a lawyer. They sent his mother $500 for the commissary account. Tonight, you're meeting a supplier in Inglewood. $18,000 in a bag in the trunk. The OG sits across from the supplier. You stand at the door. Halfway through the meeting, the supplier's phone rings. He looks at the screen. He doesn't answer it. He looks at the OG. Nobody speaks for 4 seconds. Then the supplier puts the phone face down on the table and keeps talking. You don't exhale until you're back on the 110 with the windows down and the radio off. The Bloods were built to answer something that already existed. They answered it so completely that now both the question and the answer are the same thing. The color is still red. The counter is still counting. High MS 13. Nobody recruits you into MS 13. That's not how it works. You recruit yourself. You start by existing near them in Huntington Park or the Rampart District. You don't ask to join. That's disrespectful. You just exist near them long enough that they start to see you. You hold packages without asking what's inside. You keep your mouth shut when a teacher asks questions, when a cop offers you $20, when your mother asks you directly to your face. Every time. 6 months after you first stand on that corner, someone pulls you aside. You want in? You nod. 13 members form a circle around you in an alley. You survive 13 seconds of all of them at once. You can't fight back. You can't run. You can't make a sound. 1. A fist hits your jaw. 5. You're on the ground. 11. Your vision goes. 13. It stops. Someone helps you up. Welcome, homeboy. They give you a name. Flaco, Diablo, Smiley. That name is your identity now. You move product at 16. A veterano at 24 running a clique of 35 across 3 blocks. The highest leaders sit in maximum security prisons in El Salvador and the United States. Orders come through lawyers and coded letters. When they say move, you move. Tonight, you move a shipment from Vermont Avenue to Maywood. Two cars. One block from the drop point, a police cruiser turns onto the street ahead of you. You reduce your speed to exactly the limit. You watch the cruiser in your mirrors. It keeps moving. It doesn't stop. The transfer takes 4 minutes. Your cut is $800. Nobody outside those two cars will ever know what moved through the city tonight. MS-13 started as protection. What it protects now is harder to name. What it costs is not. 18th Street Gang. You don't have to be from anywhere specific. That's the first thing you learn. Not one neighborhood, not one background, not one country. The doors are open to everyone. That's the offer. Come as you are. Your mother came here with nothing. She cleaned offices on Wilshire Boulevard for 11 years to keep the apartment on Alvarado. She never asked you for anything except to finish school. You didn't finish school. You finished something else instead. By 15, you're on the corner on Alvarado Street. By 17, you've been arrested twice and documented in a database that connects to 47 agencies across the state. Your mother doesn't know this. You have decided she never will. Tonight, you're collecting from 3 businesses on 6th Street. The first 2 are routine, the third one at the laundromat. The owner opens the door and there is someone you don't recognize standing behind him. You look at the owner, he looks at the floor. You look at the stranger. The stranger looks at you. 3 seconds pass, the stranger steps back. The owner hands you the envelope. You walk out. You don't run. Running is information. Someone else will handle the laundromat next Tuesday. 18th Street opened its doors to everyone. The door only goes one way. Sureños. You carry the number 13 everywhere. On your skin. On your clothes. In the way you move through a neighborhood. 13 is the 13th letter of the alphabet. M. It stands for the Mexican Mafia, the prison gang that controls Southern California's street landscape from inside the walls of Pelican Bay and Corcoran. You have never met a Mexican Mafia member. You may never meet one. You answer to them anyway. The Sureños are not a single gang. They are an alignment. The street is the business. The prison is the board of directors. You grow up in South LA or East LA or Pomona. Your uncle went in when you were 9. You visited him at Corcoran twice a year until you were 14. You noticed things on those visits. How the other men looked at him. How your uncle never seemed afraid of anything inside those walls. You asked him once who ran the prison. He looked at you for a long time. Then he changed the subject. You already knew the answer. By 14, you're on the corner. By 17, you've been documented by 47 law enforcement agencies across the state. When you go to county jail, the Mexican Mafia controls who you sell with and whether you survive the first 30 days. The tax on every drug sale in your territory is non-negotiable. The penalty for not paying is decided in a room you will never see. Tonight, you're collecting a debt on Florence Avenue. The dealer opens the door and tells you he doesn't have it. You look at him. He has a television. He has new shoes. He has a car in the driveway you haven't seen before. You tell him you'll be back in 2 hours. You make one call. When you come back, the door opens before you knock. He has it. He pays. The money moves up the chain before sunrise. The Mexican Mafia doesn't appear on any corner. It doesn't need to. It's already in every room you've ever stood in. Florencia 13. You were born inside it. That's the first thing to understand about Florencia 13. Not recruited, not chosen. Born inside a neighborhood that has been the same gang for over 80 years. Florence Firestone sits in an unincorporated strip of Los Angeles County between South LA and Huntington Park. It has never fully belonged to the city. You grow up on Beach Street or Holmes Avenue. Your father's friends were Florencia. Their fathers before them. You don't choose the gang. The gang is the neighborhood, and the neighborhood is the gang. Your father never told you to join. He never told you not to. He just watched you the way men watch something they already know the end of. The day you came home with the ink, he looked at it for a long time. Then he went back to what he was doing. That silence said more than anything he could have told you. By 16, you're moving product and collecting for the clique. By 20, you run 8 members on 3 blocks, generating $15,000 a month. The gang has been broken apart multiple times. It is reassembled every time. Tonight, you're meeting with 2 other clique leaders on Grape Street. A rival set has been moving onto Holmes Avenue for 2 weeks. You lay out what you know. One of the clique leaders disagrees. He's been in Florencia longer than you. Everyone in the room knows this. You let him finish, then you lay it out again. Without raising your voice. The room goes quiet. He nods. Quiet is not the same as empty. Florencia 13 was here before most of what surrounds it. It intends to be here after. The city has never found a way to make it stop. It has stopped trying to find one. Avenues. You jumped into the neighborhood before the freeway existed. That's how old this is. They take their name from the numbered avenues. Avenue 43, Avenue 50, the grid between downtown LA and Pasadena that has never been fully claimed by either. The gang has held this territory for 80 years. The 110 freeway came later. The coffee shops came last. The avenues were here first. You grow up in Cypress Park or Glassell Park. Your family has lived on these streets for 3 generations. Your grandfather was born on Avenue 43 and died 2 blocks from where he was born, and never once considered that strange. You think about that sometimes, about what it means to belong to a place so completely that leaving never occurs to you as an option. You understand it because you feel it too. By 18, you move product through routes that run parallel to the Gold Line stations. The gentrification brought the train. You use the train's shadow. Tonight, you're running product from a stash house on Avenue 26 to a point near Heritage Square Station. The route takes 11 minutes. At minute 7, a man steps out of a doorway on Avenue 43 and looks directly at you. You don't know him. He doesn't move. You keep walking at the same pace. You reach the distribution point. The transfer happens. You walk home through a different route. You think about the man in the doorway. You'll mention it in the morning. Tonight you sleep. The avenues were here before the freeway, before the train, before everyone who came to discover the neighborhood. They are still here. That's the whole point. 7 gangs. 7 different corners of the same city. 7 different answers to the same question. How do you matter in a place that was built for you not to? Somewhere right now there is a 14-year-old on Figueroa with a phone in his hand and $100 in his pocket. He has never felt this real in his life. He doesn't know yet what that feeling costs. He will.